Today we're working on this vintage inspired cat door hanger. I found a really cute vintage cat head at Michael's and I didn't want to pay the price, so I ended up finding this image on Pinterest, and as you can see I put it on to the foam board. That foam board behind me is a 4x8 and it cost like $32, and you can see that this vintage cat head here was like $27, so I just couldn't justify the price. So this is me tracing it out onto the foam board. Both Lowe's and Home Depot have this foam board. They have it in different depths. One is green and one is like a purpley color, as you can see. I did not realize, I sent my husband to the store to buy the foam board, and what I didn't realize was the foam board at Home Depot has these divots in it, and I just didn't like it, so I'm gonna stick with Lowe's. So I ended up putting some filler in it so that it wouldn't mess my image up, but next time I'm just going to continue to purchase from Lowe's because I don't want my boards to have these lines in them. Any place that has orange or a lighter color, I'm just going through with white to put the background on. I feel like it helps make the colors pop a little better. I didn't realize it at the time, but I made the orange a little bit brighter than probably what it should have been in keeping with the vintage theme. It probably would have helped to have the picture right next to me as I was doing it, but I was trying to go off of memory, and then later I ended up going back to Michael's and doing like a little video of it and then a screenshot from the website. So it was only after I had done all of this color that I realized that the orange was a much more muted color, almost like a brownish orange, to play into the vintage side. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't go that dark because I really do love the bright orange that I have on here. I would have gone slightly darker, but I can't say that I would have gone much darker with this because, like I said, I really do enjoy this bright orange color, and I think it goes well with mine. So when you're making this, obviously you can change the colors to suit whatever you prefer. I just happen to also have a shiny black paint. It's a gloss paint, and I really like the way that it stands out, so that's what I used instead of a muted black. I like being able to look at my image and kind of see a little bit of a sheen to it. I went ahead and put a black outline around the entire image as I was using my paint. One, because I want to outline my image so that it stands out, but later on in the video you'll see where I do take that black paint and I put it around the edges, so I feel like the edging of the picture with the black paint and then going back around the edges to do the black paint where I cut it kind of helps create a little bit more of a flawless / like cohesive look. Also, having a border really helps later on when you are cutting around the edge of the image. It gives you a guide and you're not cutting so close to your actual image. One thing that you might notice about this image is that the cat does not have any whiskers. And I questioned it too after I was almost done with it, and I thought, well, that doesn't make any sense. A cat needs whiskers. But I didn't want to just draw it on there and then it looked really bad. So I just didn't put anything on there. And I have a black cat and I can't see his whiskers because he is fully black. I have a tuxedo cat. She does have white whiskers so you can see them. So for me, this image kind of plays into my current black cat, and I'm just going to assume that his whiskers can't be seen. So this hot tool that I'm using came from Amazon. It was like a set of 4. It has this like crescent, like really skinny wire, 2 rods. One is like a little taller than the other, and then like a curved one. I find that this one works best when cutting your images out more detailed, and the rods work better when you're cutting it from a really big piece of foam board. I do recommend practicing on a few pieces first before you practice on your piece, because it does take some getting used to and you don't want to ruin something that you worked really hard on. So once you get it cut out, this is where I'm adding the black edging so that as you're looking at it, if you move to the side, like when you look at the front of the image, you'll see like the black outline, and then when you move to the side, you'll also see a black outline, so it kind of turns into more of a cohesive piece instead of you seeing purple. And when I went back to Michael's, I ended up grabbing some ribbon. I'm really not the best when it comes to ribbons, but I did my best. Lesson learned with a stapler. It does initially work, but it's not a long-term solution. So I'm gonna have to go back and do some sort of glue to hold that ribbon on the front and the back. Like I said, I'm not like super good with ribbons. I tried my best. I did a couple loops and then I added the smaller ribbon. I had some leftover wire from a prior project, so I just stapled it on. But I know that I'm gonna have to try a different way to get that to stay on long term. And there we go. So cute.